Good morning, graders. This is Teacher Joy again. How are you today? I'm sure you're doing great while learning at home. Today we will have an enhancement reading activity. This is to improve your reading skills, specifically your pronunciation and the way you express yourself in reading. So we will be reading a story wherein the characters are familiar to you. But before that, I want to present first the following questions so that you will have a guide in understanding fully the text that we will be reading. So the first question is, what caused the death of the animals? Second question, what could be the possible causes of clogged canals? Third question, in what way is the story relevant these days? Fourth question, what is the price of development and progress? Fifth question, what does the story tell you about pollution? What are you going to do about it? Sixth question, if you were King Frog, how would you drive away man from the city? What steps will you take to solve water pollution in your area? That is the seventh question. Eighth question, in what ways are we like man from the city? Ninth question, what should our attitude toward pollution and other environmental problems be? And the last question is, how can students like you help solve or prevent environmental problems? As I have said, these questions are your guides in comprehending the story entitled The Day the Frogs Cried. You can find this story on pages 94 to 95 of your Joy in Learning English 6 book. So what are we waiting for? Let's start reading. The Day the Frogs Cried. Are you in the habit of throwing trash anywhere, such that during the rainy season, clogged canals cause flood in your vicinity? What would happen if it rained continuously for nearly a month? In the outskirts of a thick forest was Barrio Sapa, King Frog's kingdom, where all kinds of plants grew and many animals lived. Isda enjoyed swimming freely in his newly found home. Fidgety Hippon did all kinds of jumps and sprints like a victorious Olympian, while Suso did his daily 1-meter run as his young ones cheered for him. In fact, tall trees, thick bushes, and grasses nearby moved gracefully as the breeze blew merrily. For a time, the genial King Frog and his subjects lived happily and peacefully in this place without any problem. Then one day, man from the city came. "Oh, this is a suitable place to develop industrial centers. I can build a garment factory in here," he said. Palaka, King Frog's right-hand guard, heard what man from the city said. He went instantly to his king to break the news. "King Frog, man from the city has come. He said he would build a factory in our growing kingdom." King Frog was thoughtful for a while. Then he said, "Relax, Palaka. I'll take care of it." Finally, he added, "Tell all the animals in the kingdom to move their homes a kilometer away from the factory of man from the city." "I'll do that, Your Highness," Palaka replied. So Merry Isda, playful Talangka, competitive Hipon, and swinging Suso moved their houses a kilometer away. After a time, they returned to their usual routines, but bad luck came to King Frog's kingdom once more. The once merry Isda was unhappy and having disease spells. The once playful Talangka was getting weaker every day and was slowly suffering from blindness. And the veteran Soso was no match to the ailment he was suffering. "King Frog, help us!" the animals chorused. "Don't worry, being your leader, I'll handle the problem," King Frog calmly said. "What can we do for now is to move farther away," King Frog continued. So the animals moved their houses farther away as told. After a week, the problem became worse. Isda was slowly dying. Talangka was already crippled. Hipon became blind, and Suso was very ill. King Frog, together with the other frogs, went around to find out what happened. All of them were astonished to see that all the towering trees were gone. Not even a single young tree was planted to replace the ones cut down. In place of the green and virgin forest was a factory that emitted black smoke in the sky like the one they saw in the city. The once crystal water had turned into an oily and gray liquid that was ready to burn if a lighted cigarette would be thrown into it. Plastics and other non-biodegradable materials choked the brook. Not a single living thing was visible in the waters. So King Frog approached man from the city. "Leave my kingdom," he ordered. "Who are you to drive me away? I bought this land. This is mine now. I won't leave." Man from the city angrily said. "But you cut down the trees and pollute our homes," King Frog asserted. "That is the price of progress. We have to do it to help the people of the city," Man from the city argued. "But you harm us, animals living here," King Frog insisted. "I cannot care less. Leave now. I still have work to do," Man from the city raved. "We are warning you, Man from the city. If you do not stop doing this to us, harm shall befall you," King Frog retorted. Heartbroken, King Frog and his guards returned to their kingdom. While they were approaching the gate, they were met by Kuliglig with much agitation. "Your Highness, all the animals in the kingdom are dead. Man from the city killed them." "No, it can't be," King Frog moaned. They hurriedly went back to the kingdom and saw that all the animals were dead.
"Kokak! Kokak! Kokak! Kokak!"
King Frog and all the frogs cried. They croaked and cried for hours, for days, for nearly a month, until it flooded, until the land of man from the city was underwater, until erosion, flash floods, and landslides destroyed the factory, until man from the city and his men drowned, until Barrio Sapa was free from pollution. When you hear croaking frogs, will you remember man from the city? Would you dare pollute your treasured surroundings? Think of others who will be harmed when you are cruel to your environment. Okay, that ends the story, grade 6. What I want you to do now is to read again with me so that you will improve further. Remember, practice makes perfect. For those who have already understood the story, you can go back to the questions at the start of the story and try to answer them. Alright? So that's all for now. Once again, this is Julie Joy Santos. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye!